Hi, Mike here. Building Excel-based dashboards is a hot topic right now, and despite the fact that the Mac version of Excel has fewer features than its Windows counterpart, you can still build some pretty awesome dashboards. In this video, I'm going to show you one feature of Excel for Mac that can be integrated into most dashboards. And that feature is inserting a symbol into a shape and having the symbol automatically update depending on the value of another cell. This can also be done in Windows, but inserting the symbol is done slightly differently. As usual, if you want to follow along, you can download a copy of the demo file from the link in the description below. Here's a partly completed dashboard which is to be used by the executive team at Excellent Ice Cream. Column E displays the names of the ice cream flavours that the company sells, and yes, they really do sell pizza flavour ice cream. Column F displays the month-to-date revenue for each flavour. And in column G, I want to insert symbols or emojis to represent each flavour. So I'll go over to G6 and click on the Insert tab on the ribbon. And if you look on the right hand side, the symbol button, which I want to use, is greyed out. That was working until recently. I think a recent update from Microsoft broke it. To activate the button, double click in the cell. You can see the button now becomes clickable. Click on symbol, and that opens up the character viewer. Now, if your character viewer doesn't look like this, there are two ways to display it, and the button at the top right allows you to switch between the two different views. I want to insert an emoji of an apple into G6. Now, it just happens that the apple is there on the right hand side, but that's because that was the last emoji that I used. If I go to food and drink, you can see the apples highlighted. Double click on it and it puts it into that cell and press enter. I want to do a similar thing with pizza, so I'll go to G7, double click the cell, but I don't see pizza right now, so I'll search for it. Click in the search box of the character viewer, type pizza. I don't need to press enter, it comes up in the search results. Then double click on the emoji. Now, it's put a question mark in there. When I was preparing this demo earlier, it put two A's into the cell. So sometimes when you double click on a symbol, it either inserts a question mark, as it's done here, or two A's into the cell. I'm not sure why that happens. I did read on one of the Microsoft forums that it's down to a font issue, although these three cells are formatted with the same font. Let me show you my workaround. Once you've found the emoji that you want to use, right click on it and select Copy Character Info. Then double click again on the cell and paste, and then delete out the text that it's generated, and you're left with the emoji. Yes, I know it's messy, but it does work. So let me do the same thing with strawberry. In the search box of the character viewer, search for strawberry, and then click on the icon, right click, copy character info, double click in the cell if you hadn't done already, Control V to paste, and then delete out the extra text that you don't want and press enter. I'll then close the character viewer. So that's the icons, the emojis. I need a couple of formulas. These formulas don't need to be seen by the users of the dashboard. So they could go over to the right, say in column J, K or L, and I could then hide that column, or I could put them on a separate sheet. I'm going to put them in column B, and then I'm going to place a shape over them. Rather than typing the formulas in as part of the demo, because all you'd be doing is watching me type them in, I've typed the formulas in, but I will just talk through them. The first one in B6, what that does is displays the text best-selling product. Then it puts a new line in. That's what CHAR 10 does. You can't see a new line here, but you will see a new line when I put that formula into a text box shortly. It then adds onto the end of that the value from column E, that's the name of the flavour, that corresponds to the highest value in column F. The formula in B7, that is returning the emoji that corresponds to the highest value from column F. So what I'm going to do is cover those two formulas with a shape by clicking on the Insert tab on the ribbon, clicking on Shapes, and I'm going to go for this rounded rectangle here. So I'll click and draw out the shape. I'll move it. I want it to be lined up with Apple that's in column E. And then I'm going to change the colour of the shape. So on the Shape Format menu, I'll go to the Shape Fill and select green. And I'll also remove the outline by going to Shape Outline and choosing No Outline. What's going to go into that shape is what's in B6. So to do that, with the shape selected, click in the formula bar and type equals B6 and press enter. And you can see that it's taken the contents of B6, including the fact that there was a carriage return or a line break, and put it into the cell. So if I was to change, for example, pizza to 230,000, when I press enter, you can see that it's updated what's in the shape, and that's because the formula in B6 has updated. Also, you can see what's in B7 has updated. I do want to change how that text appears. So first of all, I'll align that text to the center, left to right, and align it top to bottom in the middle. I'll also change the size of the text. Let's make it 18 points and make the text white. Then I'm going to insert another shape. This shape is going to display the icon, the emoji from column G. So I'll go back to Insert, click on Shapes, and this time I'm just going to go for the normal rectangle, and I'll just place it here. It needs to be smaller, and I want it to be the same color as the other shape. So if I click on the first shape, go back to the Home tab, click on the Format Painter, and click on the second shape, that copies the formatting from the first shape onto the second shape. What I want to do there is connect this shape to B7. So click on that little shape, click in the formula bar, type equals B7 and press enter. And we have our emoji. I'll then drag this shape onto the first shape, make it a little bit bigger, and also change the font size. So let's make that one 24. So now if I go up to F6, change Apple to 240,000, you can see that it updates both of those shapes. And the reason it's doing that is because behind the scenes, it's updating the contents of the two cells, B6 and B7. Let's change strawberry to 241,000. And you can see that it updates the dashboard again. So that's it. How to insert emojis or symbols into cells and have them automatically updating as the numbers change. Well, I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you in the next video, but until then, have an excellent day.